Can you guys hear me? How we doing, Lions? I had to go get coffee real quick. Previously on Kimba TV.
You just said.
Value area high. I'm sure you guys can all see it. Value area low. Okay. Basically, you can pull fibs, but that's your stop loss. You know. And then there's two ways you can play it, right? You can take that one. You can take the golden pocket getting lost, or you can take the value, the low getting lost. So you have one entry, second entry, third entry if you wanted to take the short. How are you doing, Lions? Happy Monday. We got 2 more days until 2024 is wrapped. Are you guys excited? Zach, you good? What sort of salad you like? I think ones with like hella tomatoes probably is my favorite. Tomatoes and cucumber. Mostly I'm a, balsamic vinaigrette kind of guy. I'm a vinaigrette kind of guy. Lettuce? Yeah, lettuce salads, baby. Hey, let's get it, boy. How we doing? Well, happy Monday, ladies and gentlemen. S&P still selling off. We'll keep an eye on where it might stop, but for the most part, yeah, no real surprises. Let's see here. Vishante says I shorted the gap on my own this time. Attaboy. Vishante, you starting to get it. You starting to get it, my boy. But really, to be honest, I mean, we said it last week. You know what I mean? We are beginning the journey further down to our 85K zone. So, no real surprises. None of the sort of, it depends on what your subconscious bias is, right? So if you're a little bit more bullish than I am, you were looking for longs. Obviously, we have the short from last Friday or Thursday morning, actually. Yeah, who was the guy that was asking me on Friday? Why are you so sure about 85K? And I gave a pretty nice little answer. So, whoever that was, if you got caught up on the Fibonacci play that I posted last night, basically just follow through of everything that we've been talking about. So hopefully all that shit that I explained made sense, and you got to see it yourself on over the weekend with the Fibonacci play. So Jimmy says, LOL, 85K is a tiny move down from here. Yeah, we're not too far away from it. Yep. Any questions? Froggy says, what did you observe at the regular trading hours open to determine if the market was more bullish or bearish? The gap, Froggy. Yeah, you see this? Gap. So that is a bearish gap. And then, obviously, I don't know if you are a big Bugama person, but, S&P is dumping like crazy. So S&P low, I don't think is in yet. So Y6 says, but we didn't fill any bit of RTH gap from today. Say what? No. So this is your classic, this is where it opened, right? So dip your toes in, and then go. LOL Koku says, Kimba, I pussyfooted today. I was anticipating that the ETH wouldn't be fulfilled as it got to the 618 with that sweep of the... Say what, LOL Koku? You didn't short. That's okay. You could just wait for the long down there if you want. V Right Maro Kane says, "What is the difference between the classic candlestick and the one you put? I don't understand them. It's just opens and it's just they're called bars. So, um, if you don't know what each of these candles mean, definitely nerd out. You know, do you know what a Heikinashi candle is? You know what a Renko candle is? You know what a Kagi candle is, I think. Most people know that. Bars, regular, hollow, volume. Yeah, the Trading View tutorials cover them pretty well, but yeah, make sure you nerd out on different types of candles that exist, okay? Daywalker says, Yo, Kimba, I've been away for a few weeks. Now I'm back and hear you talk about some new terms I don't know. RTH, can you pin? Uh, RTH is just regular trading hours. Okay, so it's the 9:30 in the morning till 4. Yeah, so regular trading hours. You just go to Google Daywalker and type in regular trading hours. And then ETH is electronic trading hours. So this is ETH, electronic trading hours. It's on the bottom right, my guy. This is what I would say. There's 2 days left on the year. All right? The confluence is going to be strong. All right. So if you're going to be longing Bitcoin, whether you like it or not, you're longing S&P. If you're shorting Bitcoin, whether you like it or not, you're also shorting S&P. Okay? So start with basic concepts like that. Um, and then, like I said, identify levels to the downside, identify levels to the upside. The good news is the levels to the downside really haven't changed too much. Okay? So let's switch over to 1 hour. This is what we're kind of looking at right now for Coinbase. So this is Coinbase. All right. Um, if your long is going to work, then you're gonna be able to get back above the 92,000 relatively quickly. For me, what does relatively quickly mean? So how many 30-minute candles would I tolerate below a level, for example? So it's I wouldn't like overly complicate things. Um, I would just go with just normal protocols, risk management, you know. Um, this is a level that we've had identified for quite some time. So, whether it's a 3 drives, I mean, first off, you're looking for what are the 3 different types of edges we're looking for? We're looking for structural edge, right? So, for a structural edge, what could you potentially see that could be quote unquote bullish? Well, you could get a failed auction, you could get a swing fail, not a swing fail, right? Anymore. So you could get a failed auction or you could get a 3 drives. All right. You're looking for open interest edge. All right. And if you don't have that much edge, you can compensate with time. All right. So that's how I would, kind of go with it. You see how I have a level identified? Now I'm going to look for structure. I'm going to look at open interest. And maybe a little bit of S&P confluence, but that's about it. I still have my short from last Friday. Cigar says, let's hope it doesn't fall off 84K. I already planned my entries on outs. Don't do that, Cigar. Yeah, be careful, be careful. Don't really put blind limits in. If you really want to put blind limits in, the best thing to do would be to wait until the 6th. Yeah, we've been in these situations the last couple of years, but yeah, just be careful. I can remember last year and the year before that, so maybe I can get lucky. You guys remember when we were doing like the 100K to 1 mil challenge, and I held on to the trade from December all the way through January, and it netted us huge profits. Methodic, happy Monday, Juicy Maguchi. CG, you Gucci? All right, any questions, ladies and gentlemen? All right, we got 15 minutes on the hour of the candle close. Let's get it. Oh, yeah. CG Monster says, I don't know how you can live on 3 hours of sleep. Need at least 6 hours. Yeah, I was just, I don't want to say I was like taught to be able to do that, but yeah, lots of life experience. 10 binds, what's going on? Shay says, when we getting a StarCraft stream? January 10th, I think, is when we're gonna start hosting like the StarCraft team tryouts. CG Monster says you trained it. Yeah, like basically CG Monster, there's 3 elements that kind of trigger your flight or fight response. You know what flight or fight is, right? It's like your survival instinct. So have you ever like studied like special forces assessment and selection, or like buds for like Navy SEALs? Every military, when they're choosing like for special forces, there's 3 things that they do. They cut off your sleep, they cut off your food, and they make you cold. Yeah. So when you're hungry, when you're cold, and when you're lacking sleep, and especially when you have all 3 of those things working against you, that's how you can really see what you're made of. And my grandparents are pretty big into sort of the military, so ever since I was like in middle school, I remember my grandpa kind of like training me. So yeah, I don't really need sleep. I'm ready to be fully functional at a moment's notice. Yeah, but I do get exhausted though, and I'm definitely, you know, being in my 30s is a little bit different than being in my 20s. So, but yeah, I mean, I would say that between 22 and 28, I did a lot of all-nighters. Yeah, back in my youth. Ayo Gain says, you know what is impressive to me is on your first altcoin nerd out a few weeks ago, you were looking for lower prices, and I had my doubts, but looking at some of the plans, the price came back and dipped even lower. Mad impressive, bro. Um, Nice. Thank you for the kind words. It's not really so much about like you know, if if I was right or wrong. It's, I'm always prepared. And so like for example, AO gains, um I'm ready for, you know what I'm ready for? Like I'm still ready for this. You know what I mean? I'm still ready for this. Um, I'm still ready for, this to potentially sweep and maybe clean all of that. you know, maybe this, who knows, right? But yeah, it's just I'm not really surprised. And I think that's the biggest thing that I try to put myself in a position, because when you start to get surprised, or you know, it's doing something that you didn't expect, you kind of get thrown off, or at least I do. So I'm always trying to make sure that nothing really surprises me. Yeah. So we'll see. You know, I'm ready for, we talked about, you know, 92, right? You guys remember when we were talking about 92 on Bitcoin? You guys remember when we were talking about 88, 85, 82? Yeah, so it's just level to level. And I think part of understanding, okay, we could go to 85 or we could go to 82, also helps me um, be a little bit more disciplined with like TPing along, for example, you know? So you might be watching my 100K to 1 mil challenge and thinking to yourself, oh my God, if Kimba just TP'd here, he could have had this much PNL. And I'm sure everybody will have their opinions about that, okay? What you will never say is, holy shit, I can't believe he took such a big L. So watch how I do it. All right, my boy. And to be honest, you can really ask. Don't just take my word for it ever, okay? But like talk to the OGs and veterans. All right? I don't think anybody has ever taken a big L because your TA and analysis was so fucked up. I don't think anybody has ever lost like a big chunk of money because their TA was so fucked up. That's what caused the big L. It's usually like hopium, copium, you know, bad risk management. You know, the one time that you deviate away from your protocols and plans, that's when they get you. Zerelin says cat threw up and I missed my entry. Yeah, but that's okay because here, how many of y'all Marcus smashed right here? Everybody that missed, okay? If you didn't Marcus smash there, that's okay, because the people that did Marcus smash this time, right? How many times did you have to see it to actually take it?
He said,
right?
What did he say? He just
There's
told us
you
to
have
be
to
prepared.
learn before you can earn. You know what I mean? So if you pussyfooted or you missed it, not that big of a deal, because the motherfuckers that are in it right now, a couple weeks ago, couple months ago, they were in your shoes, but now look at them, right? And like I said in the very beginning of the stream, the most important thing is that you learn and you improve. David Steele says so many times, plus prepare for price to go back to my entry. There you go. No doubt. Yeah, because that's usually what it is. The people that Marcus smashed on that breakout, right? How many times did you miss it in the past, right? So no worries, Lions. There's gonna be so many trades, and we're gonna continue to do this shit. You know? So the most important thing is that you learn and improve, guys. And if you can do that, maybe you miss this one, but the next 1,000, the next 100,000, you'll be able to take. I aim one says, but we got nice edge to long. I am talking about CVD net or just failed auction is enough. It's up to you. I am one. That's part of the planning and the preparation. So you would have already had made up your mind if that would have been good enough or not. If it wasn't good enough for you, see how this plays out and learn and improve for next time. That's it. Sounds good? Yeah, but you have to make up the decision, and you needed to plan and prepare, right? You can hear me say, hey, you know, some of you guys are gonna wait and take this. So basically, like this is really what it comes down to. I drew it like this. Some people are going to say, hey, man, and that's what your risk reward is, right? Some people will say, hey, man, market smash, and that's what your risk reward is. All right. And so is that like worth it for you with the amount of edge that you have? And you have to make that call. You understand? So you know how much you are risking, right? You know what your entry size is, you know what your entry is, you know what your stop loss is. So you can easily say, well, I'm willing to risk, let's say, for example, that if you had entered here and you got stopped out here, you were going to lose $1,000. You can say it's worth it or it's not worth that $1,000 for that amount of confluence. All right. But what do I usually say is the confluence that I like to see? Structure. So you got structure. Do you have open interest helping you? Yes or no? You tell me. Does it look like longs got stopped out and you have shorts that piled in and you want open interest to go up, right? You want longs there. So you have open interest edge and you have structural edge, right? So maybe you're missing a little bit of S&P confluence, but you needed to make a decision. You needed to make a call on whether 2 out of 3 is good enough or not. That's it. And you had plenty of time to figure out if you wanted to take it or not. Mainly because we had already talked about this is your SFP. Look at this. Look at the 4 hour. That's not bad. So that's how you plan. That's how you anticipate. And here's the thing. You do know that I know how to chase this. I know how to get back in on this. So if I really wanted to get into a long, I know exactly what kind of retrace I'm looking for. I know how to, put an anchor VWAP at the bottom. I know how to pull fibs. I know where the imbalances are. So if I really wanted to get it back in, or if I'm like, fuck, I got to get into a long, I know how I would do it. If your plan is only planning to enter one type of way, you're not prepared and you're not planned out. Yeah, but this has been talked about for quite some time. So yeah, if you're wondering like TP stuff, 1, exclamation rewind and get caught up. 2, I've already shared the levels in the Discord. And 3, we prepared for a swing fail of this level on this day, on this day, on this day, even a little bit on this day too, when we were like, what happens when this all gets cleaned up? Okay? And last but not least, you got to have levels, man. All right? So this is your RTH value area low, value area high. All right. Colby says, I'm wanting to get into day trading. I'm not sure where to start. Make sure that you join us every day and watch the stream, Colby. I guided you guys through on how to potentially enter a trade. Now here's the second part of the trade. How do you manage it, right? How can you tell when you want to start shaving? How can you tell when you want to start mitigating risk? How do you know when you want to maybe add or re-enter, etc., etc.? So I'm excited for you guys to have a little opportunity for a pop quiz. I pretty much went over everything, where I would look for a bearish retest, how I could get into the long if I wanted to, levels, S&P, keep an eye on S&P. So many different ways to kind of manage it. So, it's not like you get into it and then you set it and forget it, right? You still need to manage risk. So I kind of held everybody's hand through the reading the data, looking at edge, structural edge, how you could take it, Now it's about how to manage it, right? How do you minimize not getting round tripped? Some of you guys aren't in a long yet. How do you know if a pullback is good enough for a long? How do you, if you're already in a long, how do you know if the pullback doesn't look good and that's when you need to close it, right? So the good news for you guys is it's the same shit that we always talk about. So, if you need help, !rewind, get caught up on some of the YouTube highlights from last week because we've already talked about it, especially these 2 days, when we were talking about it could be a swing fail, right? So we already talked about, if it does swing fail, what it would have to do, what it would look like, And so just do your best, and I'll be here again tomorrow morning, and we can always regroup. But yeah, it's, don't overcomplicate it. Don't get so caught up on your own bias. You know what I mean? And just do your best. I always tell you guys, I don't need you guys to be the best traders. I just need your best. Sounds good? So just give me your best, and everything should take care of itself, all right? Hey, longers, I'm rooting for you. Shorters, I'm rooting for you. Bulls, Bears, we're all Lions. Let's finish the song, and then I'm out of here. Just as thankful for you guys, if not more. Can't do this without you guys, man. And don't get it twisted. The real value is in the community. It's not me. It's not Kimba's Den. It's not Discord VIP. The true value in all of this is for all of us to be here together, rooting for each other, helping each other out, working together. All right? So it's not a longers versus shorters. It's not me versus you. A lot of this is just going to come down to us versus us. All right? So whatever you guys are doing, whether it's longing or shorting, I would assume that if you can just be a little bit patient and be logical with it, you don't have to be right. You can put yourself in a position where worst case scenario, you get stopped out, break even. All right? Can't lose. That's the motto that I would want everybody to be able to articulate in 2025. Who gives a shit if you're hitting a home run every single time? The real juice is that you're taking a trade that you can't lose on. And if you can do that every single time, the money will take care of itself. Trust me. All right, y'all. If you ain't burping, you ain't juicing. Facts. All right, guys. Well, I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow. Longers, I'm rooting for you. Shorters, I'm rooting for you. Bulls, Bears, we're all Lions. I'll be on again quite early tomorrow. Just trying to think about I'll probably be on again pre-market. So, hey, you guys are the best. Stay safe and happy hunting, Lions. All right, y'all. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And if there's anything to share, I'll post in Discord. But, for the most part, I would think, everything's been talked about. So, all right, !rewind, !YouTube, !Discord. Let's get it.